If you've ever tried to use Roman numerals to subtract and add and divide and do math or program a computer, I don't know anybody that actually programs a computer with Roman numerals today. It's very, very challenging, but it was pretty sticky for a couple thousand years. And then at some point, Arabic numerals came along and someone said, we use these numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's just a lot more efficient. And here's a new notation. Now, why does it take people so long? Well, because the old protocol is embedded in everything. It's embedded in the accounting. It's embedded in the law. It's embedded in, everybody spent 30 years of their life learning it. And so people struggle with new protocols. And so if I come up with a new protocol, which is an order of magnitude better or 2 orders of magnitude better, right? You have to migrate the institutions, the governments, the individuals, and oftentimes you have to have a generational shift. Bitcoin represents a new economic protocol, a new monetary protocol. So you have 5,000 years of recorded history during which humanity has functioned with defective money. And you didn't, and was I a bad person? No, I was just in a generational shift, and now we've got to move on to the next thing. And it's not easy to turn your entire worldview upside down, inside out, even if it gives you a 10 or 100x advantage over the traditional view.
No, that's very true. And a lot of people are having a hard time seeing what is right in front of them with Bitcoin, and they resist and reject in so many ways. You're such a student of history, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the ideal form of government and its role with money? Because a lot of people right now, both in Bitcoin and outside, I feel like there's a growing distrust in government. People want government out of their lives. They feel like government has screwed things up, including the money. So what is the ideal government and its role with money?
I think Bitcoin provides an inspired example, as does nature. For example, your DNA in nature transmits in a gathering of power, whether it's at the family level, the clan level, the tribe level, the city level, the provincial level, the state level, the country level. And you tend to see power aggregate. And I think it's because there's a natural process. If you have one state next to another state, and the one state has a leader that wants to aggregate and channel power. So what do I do first? I want as many people as possible, and then I want to feed them bread and water because that's cheaper, and then I get an army 10,000 times bigger. And it's maybe not so healthy to do that, but I don't care if they live to 60 or 80. I just want them to live to 25 to be in my army. So then once I gather the army, then I basically decide that the people across the river speak the wrong language, worship the wrong God, or they looked at me the wrong way. So the people across the river are decentralized, peaceful in 27 different hamlets, and they eat good food, and they are organic farmers, and there aren't as many of them, and they don't spend all their time killing each other. Since we have, the less likely it is that someone will corrupt the network. I think that if you have powerful companies and powerful owners in 100 different countries, the network is less likely to be corrupted. Its integrity is enhanced because now you have strong political actors with a vested interest to keep anybody from attacking the network. So I don't really think if fill in the blank, if a country in the Middle East decided that they wanted to buy a lot of Bitcoin, I don't think they're taking over Bitcoin because 99% of the Bitcoin is in someone else's hands, and they triple the price of Bitcoin. And so the 99% of the people that hold the rest of Bitcoin just got 3 times as powerful. And so there's no way for someone to join the network and undermine the network. They're strengthening the network as they join it. What they would do is if a big player in the Middle East joined the network and became embedded and had skin in the game. Now, when I actually create a document, how do I sign a document and certify it such that 500 years from now, it will not be tampered with. And this challenge of how do I inscribe a piece of information on an immutable network that's unstoppable and immortal, right? This was the challenge that Satoshi struggled with in the white paper. And this is what Satoshi solved with Bitcoin. And the killer app that we've used it for is for $1 trillion worth of money or property on a crypto network. But you have 8 billion people on the planet, and 8 billion people need an identity. And right now, if you go to X, you can pay $8 a month or $96 a year for a blue check, or you can pay double that for a premium blue check. And if you want to be a corporation with an identity, you can pay $1,000 a month for a gold check, and then $50 for each additional person for a gold check. Documents and government edicts that are worth $1 billion that you would actually want to immutably document, sign, certify, and or inscribe on Bitcoin. And when you look at it like that, I think the way to think of it is there are 3 different obvious use cases of Bitcoin. One is a store of value. And that store of value use case is well understood. We're at $1 trillion in that store of value, and there's no reason why it won't go to 100 trillion plus. The second use case is medium of exchange. And that's using Bitcoin in high frequency transactions. It's Cash App, it's Lightning wallets, it's etc. It requires a lot of coding, a lot more layer 2, layer 3 functionality, a lot of compliance work. It's more challenging, and people are doing that work today. The third use case is system of trust. Can I anchor my corporate correspondence? Can I anchor my corporate security, my national security, my social security, my personal security into that network such that I can prove who I am? Haven't named here. I mean, I don't preclude other use cases, but let's take advantage of successful businesses. I think if you look at Cash App has been successful in the medium of exchange business. They've been laser-like focused. They're not all things to all people. They don't do business everywhere in the world, right? And they don't support every asset. You can't buy every other crypto dog coin on Cash App. So they're very focused, and they spend a lot of time to do things right technically. And then in that case, if there's compliance issues, you have to focus on the compliance, right? And so they're focused on the compliance, focused upon the value proposition, focused upon the user experience, and they have been rewarded with success. They sell $2 billion of Bitcoin every quarter, billions, $10 billion of Bitcoin a year or something. And they're a public company, and they got a very successful stock, and they're well thought of. Take another example. BlackRock came out of the gate. What's their application? IBIT as a Bitcoin store of value. Okay, why are they successful? Well, they already had a